Hey.
Hello there.
You're relaxing here. What a spot.
I know. Look at this. We've got an outdoor
Wow,
fireplace.
it's gorgeous. And I love the sandy color of the brick.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
This is such a great area. I love outdoor fireplaces.
Yeah, no, and it really makes it feel like it's a living space
Exactly.
when you do it that way. So it's double-sided. It goes into the house as well.
It is, and
Wow.
I'll show you that, so we should go inside.
Let's do it. Oh,
Go
thank
ahead.
you. Wow, so beautiful.
It's, I think, of all
Yeah?
the Princess Margaret show homes I've done, I think this is my favorite.
So no surprise how stunning the space is.
Thank you.
That's what you're known for. It's so elegant and yet very comfortable. You know, the muted colors, but the graphic part of it as well. I mean, that's such a signature for you.
It is, it is. I love sort of the classic
Yeah.
quality of this palette. And there's a timelessness to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you accent it with fun trends and things like that. But a space like this will look as beautiful in 15 or 20 years as it does today.
And this is the style that you bring to all of your projects. I mean, you are internationally known, not just for residential, but for hospitality, you know, mostly, you know, hotels. And you bring this signature style to each one of the space. And yet, each one seems different. There's a lot of commonality, but a lot of differences. So how do you approach that when you're in the project mode? What different elements are you going to bring into it?
Well, you know, it's interesting because sometimes we deal with a geographic area that dictates it. Sometimes we deal with the architecture that we're given. If it's a historic structure, we look at that. A very modern structure. This is a little different because we create the structure and we create the envelope. So this is quite a different process because we're given a vacant lot and we start from scratch.
And then how involved are you in the actual design of the home itself? You work with the architect and the builders to say, you know, we should be facing this way. Let's take into consideration the direction, the lighting, everything.
Yes, when we get the lot and we walk with the chosen architect that year, this year was Richard Wingle, and we look at the trees, we look at the sun, we look at where the streets are. This one happens to be on a corner, so we're afforded a lot more light. And then we map it out with all of that. And the architect really gives us the envelope of where we can build.
Right.
And we'll start sketching because I collect up a lot of images of ideas I have for the house. And we try to incorporate that. And then sometimes we'll have working sessions with the two teams and we'll literally sketch what we want. And then the two teams go off and sort of work on their respective tasks.
And so you were saying before to me when we were just chatting, this is your 9th Princess Margaret Hospital Lottery home?
I know I'm a glutton for punishment, but yes, this is the 9th for the...
It doesn't feel like a punishment at all.
It isn't, actually. It's a labor of love, and
Right.
working for the Princess Margaret Cancer Center really is the most important cause you can do a show house for.
I know, and that's what Caesarstone was attracted to. I mean, not just working with you, as we love to do, but I think that the cause itself, for anybody who, you know, who thinks about how cancer touches everybody's lives and how easy it is to try and support them just by buying a ticket and potentially winning something so stunning like this. So.
Yes, I'm always shocked that the day we meet the owner and they
Yeah.
get all of this plus $1 million and a car for $100.
Right.
Princess Margaret Cancer Center is one of the top 5 cancer centers in the world.
Right.
And we've raised over $400,000 we've given to the hospital. And it goes to research. And while the Princess Margaret is in Toronto, and in Canada we're lucky to have the center, the research really touches people all over the world because all the breakthroughs that the Princess Margaret Cancer Center's research division discovers impacts everyone worldwide.
Right. And I think that, I mean, this project in itself has grown in notoriety and in prominence, and I think that in itself has raised the profile also of Princess Margaret, and also just, I'm sure that every year there are more and more entrants to the to the lottery, and the prizes are just incredible. Every year.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And in non-COVID years,
Right.
this house would get 70,000 people
Wow.
walk through it. So
Wow.
I've worked on the biggest show houses in the world. I've
Right.
worked at in New York on
Right.
show
Yeah.
houses, and they'll say we have 20,000 people that are going to come, and like we have 70,000.
Wow.
So when you're designing the house, you're thinking of that also. You're thinking 70,000
flow, right.
people walk through this house.
Wow.
So while we design this house for the flow,
Yeah.
people love the openness of the
Right,
houses
right.
because we design it so you could enter and exit rooms
Right.
and not be stuck in a room.
Right. And hopefully you'll take me on a tour in a couple of seconds. But
We
you
will.
can see even from this vantage point, just what you were talking about, you can see where the flow is going to go. You feel the openness, the airiness, but at the same time, very defined spaces.
And that's the challenge. You want a house that, I love an open house. I love sight lines. We talk about in France the enfilade that you see from room through room through room. So when you go in the chateaus in France, they don't have corridors.
Right.
You walk through rooms and you have that. So that we create in these houses. We define the rooms, but you still have that visual connection
Right.
through. So I'll show you how we sort of personalize rooms so they have their own individuality.
Yeah. The floor.
Yes.
The floor. So first of all, how the Caesarstone colors fit into your scheme. I mean, we were made for each other.
Yes, completely.
It's craziness.
Completely.
Yeah.
This is my palette.
Yes.
So what we did was I wanted this round foyer because you'll see throughout the house we have these curved bays and
Right.
things like that. So we want an impactful foyer. We always want an impactful foyer. So our inspiration was sort of this deco theme. We did the reveals in the wall and the fluted crown molding.
Right.
And then we designed this floor, and we like to challenge our vendors
Yes.
and our fabricators.
Yes.
And this was quite the challenge.
Yes, so we should say that, to do something like this, to achieve something like this, Marble Plus, who was the fabricator, did an outstanding job.
We push him every year.
Push him every year, and he sweats every year, but boy, does he come through. And, it's really important for people to understand to work with someone of that caliber, someone who is Caesarstone certified
Yes.
as a fabricator. And not that everybody may try and do this in their home, but it just goes to show you what you may be able to do.
We want to create these wow experiences. And this one was particularly challenging because I've got these 2-inch huge pieces that he had to create.
Yeah.
And we have the 3 colors. So we have the 2 beiges and the black.
Yeah, so we have Vanilla Noir, we have Cosmopolitan White, and Calicut Nouveau.
So we wanted the 2 beiges to be somewhat subtle because we wanted that graphic quality of the black.
Right.
But we did want 3 colors. And this really sets the tone for the whole house.
Right.
And the subtle drama for the whole house. But this is not for the faint of heart. You can't just anybody do this.
No, but I love that you incorporated it in every element. I mean, even the vent covers, which you can see as you carry through to the bathroom.
So in the powder room, we took the same materials, did a different pattern, and yes, you can see throughout in all the spaces.
Seamless.
We do vent covers. If we're doing the wood, it's in wood. If we're doing the Caesarstone, it's in Caesarstone.
So as we're passing through, this caught my eye because it just goes to show that when you have an offcut, sometimes you have extra pieces, you can use it as, as a shelf.
Yes, we use everything.
Okay.
So when we were planning this bar and
Right.
wanted the block, we knew we'd have extra.
Right.
Now this is one of those wow spaces. Look at this
wow.
dining room. I wanted a courtyard in the middle of the house, and I wanted the indoor and outdoor to be connected. So we have flooring that goes throughout.
Right.
And I wanted this to feel like you were sitting outside, and we have a lot of sun that comes in the space.
A lot. And what direction are we facing here?
We face west.
West,
So
okay.
it's very, very bright in the
very
afternoon.
bright, right. And this is interesting because this is from our outdoor collection.
Yes.
Which is a beautiful, beautiful color. It's midday. And the great thing about, we call it the outdoor collection, and the reason is because it's UV rated, it won't yellow, it won't crack, it won't fade. which is great to use it inside as well in a space like this that gets so much sun exposure.
Yeah, so we wanted a table that felt like it was outdoors, and we had to choose a material that, again, like you said, was exposed to the sun because it gets intense sun. So we couldn't use a wood table. It would just cook in the sun.
Right.
And this really gives us the feeling of being outdoors.
It's so beautiful, and I love how it looks like it's floating on the tabletop. You just did this like
reverse bevel.
Yeah.
Reverse bevel with this big chunky base.
Yeah.
And we've had so many people that have been in the house already that said, I want this, because it's effortless. You can eat on it.
Except to move it, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't move it. This
can't
is
move
not
it.
like, let's move it for dinner.
Exactly.
It's
But
staying
just,
here.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. And again, the great thing about our outdoor product, aside from it having the same properties as Caesarstone, it has a great 10-year warranty as well.
That's important.
Yeah.
So let's go into the family room and kitchen. And one of the things I loved about this house was we have this fireplace that is a see-through fireplace to the outside.
Right, so this is the one that we saw when I
Yes.
met you this morning. Beautiful. And again, you use the outdoor product here, and even though again we call it outdoor, it has a higher fire rating, so it's super appropriate to use for a fireplace surround also, which is gorgeous.
That's why we chose it. We wanted that look of limestone, but we had the heat issue.
Yeah.
And I think it was the perfect solution.
Yeah, and again, going to fabrication, the way you were able to carve into this, fantastic.
Yes, look at these strips. So
Yeah,
he had to
beautiful.
cut these little strips this long and fabricate this.
Great job.
So let's take a look at the kitchen.
Sure. Wow.
So here in the kitchen, we did quite a different look. We've done a lot of painted kitchens in the show houses before. This is the first one I've done stained.
Wow.
And this ties in the flooring and the opposite room, the living room and the library. And I chose to do 2 different countertops in here, which people don't often do, especially as bold a contrast as we have.
Right, but I mean, obviously it works beautifully, and I think it's not just the 2 different colors, it's the 2 different finishes. So, you know, on this one, on the counter over here, it's the high polish. I love this edge detail that you've done here. On this one, on Impera Black, where it's a matte finish, it's a honed finish. So it goes to show people that you can mix colors and mix textures in your countertop, in your metals. I mean, you have the wood on the cabinetry there, and then there's a pattern on that one on the uppers. I mean, but it all comes
works
together. And how you went full height.
Correct. So what we did in here was I wanted a dark counter. We did the lacquered vanity. And if I had done a shiny counter here, I think it would be too in your face. So I wanted this velvety feel for the counter.
It does feel warm, even though
It
it's
does.
Caesarstone. There's a warmth to this finish.
There's that, like I said, that velvety feel. And then we tied the black in with all the detail around the perimeter. And then to soften it, we have the wood. This is caning. And then we did the plaster hood. And then the wood floors. So there's a warmth to the kitchen, but this graphic, bold quality of the different patterns and colors.
And so clean also. I mean, doing that full height backsplash and doing it like this, no grout lines to make your eye go all over the place. And from a cleanliness perspective, it's so much easier to maintain.
I think our clients that really like to cook, they don't want a lot of grout behind the cooktop. So we typically like to use big slab, and this one is effortless as far as maintenance goes.
Right.
But look at that vein, the way we place that
gorgeous.
vein over the cooktop. So this mudroom, we use the block again from the island. And we built this farmer's sink. It's what I call a modern farmer's sink, but we did a stainless steel undermount and did 1 piece of backsplash, 1 piece of counter. So if this gets used a lot, it's effortless. And then the wallpaper to look like stone.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's a little easier than using stone. Here in the primary bedroom, we have the bedroom, the dressing room. You can see the dressing room, we did the island.
Yeah, coastal gray, love this color.
Very practical, you throw purses and suitcases and things like that with the hand-painted silk wall covering. And here in the bathroom, yes, we used the material in 2 different ways. So we have 2 colors for the floor. We've cut them into small pieces, these long pieces and these small pieces.
Right.
And then in the shower, these huge pieces. And then look at the detail on the floating bench in the niche.
Yeah.
Well, the lower level is not sort of your typical lower level. It feels like the main part of the house.
It does.
And it's divided into two areas. So we have this area, which is, I call sort of the homework area, the fun area, the game area, and then the TV area with this big sectional. And we created this open section because I envisioned this where people would have pizza and popcorn and eat here and watch TV.
Right. Airy concrete, another great color.
I love this color. And this
pretty.
This drove the wall color because we did a sort of gray blue that picked up that and mixed it with the wood. So we have the Caesarstone oak, and that warms up the whole space.
Beautiful.
So typically the laundry room is sort of this utilitarian room, but not this one. So we have a small one upstairs, and we're doing that a lot in houses. And then we have this one.
Wow.
Look at this. First of all, I love the glass door that says laundry. And this was designed to be laundry and sort of craft room.
Right.
So we did different materials on the floor. We created this island, which is really sort of a work table to fold, but also to do all your projects on. So I can see people doing crafts and wrapping things in hot glue, and that's why this counter was so important.
And just, you know, pure white is just a beautiful color, just goes with everything, and it works so well in this room.
Well, there's a cleanness to it that you want there. And we did for the countertop, and again, the full backsplash, because this is your drip area. So because you're gonna be hanging things that are damp, we wanted the slab here on the back. And that drove the color of the paint, and then we highlighted it with the gray of the floor.
Wow.
We created this spot. We have this beautiful step area where you can relax and meditate after you've done your yoga or exercising. We have the whirlpool that just envelops you in warm water.
I see my bath is ready for me.
Yes, and then we did the vanity also here. But this is one of the great spaces where we did the steam room, and then I even created the sink out of Caesarstone, which is what the bench and the skirting is.
And all of this Caesarstone is our outdoor product, which again, even though we are very inside, it's a really appropriate use of it because the humidity, the steam, the heat, any of water falling on it, it won't hurt the product at all. In fact, it really stands up to it. That's what it was designed for, and that's one of the things that we spent a lot of time in R&D working on. You know, we were the ones that pioneered quartz surfaces for countertops, and we just keep on pushing it forward. And our outdoor collection, not just for outdoor, but using it for indoor, is just part of our DNA of continuing that kind of innovation. And it's so fantastic to see it being used this way.
Well, we wanted to have it, again, effortless. We want this to last. We won't want the homeowner that's going to win this house to be able to, not maintain it. So this is going to be a high use area. I think whoever wins this house is going to be a very lucky person. They're going to be in there a lot.
Oh my God, I wouldn't come out of this room.
I know. This is really about indulging yourself in this crazy world.
Right. Thank you so much for the tour. I mean, it's stunning. It's just beyond, I think, what anybody could even imagine aside from you. And, the way that you've used Caesarstone is just outstanding. I think it's, truly one of a kind, and we so appreciate everything that you've done for us and everything that, together we're able to do for Princess Margaret. We're also proud to be one of many partners that you've chosen. So talk to me a little about how you look for partners and who you want to work with and what they bring to the house and experience.
We want partners that really bring to the property innovation, fashion-forward concepts. We're asked by a lot of partners or potential partners that maybe just don't fit into sort of the vision that we have. And not only do the partners provide us with great product, it also goes into the saving money and raising money for the Cancer Center. So I thank you for donating a lot of material throughout the whole house because you're helping in the fight to cure cancer and the research at the Princess Margaret Cancer Center.
Well, we're really happy to partner with you. I don't think the product has ever looked better.
wouldn't be the same without you. And again, thank you for helping the cause, the research to help fight cancer at Princess Margaret Cancer Center. So it was a fun project and a worthwhile project,
Yeah.
and thanks again for your participation.
Okay.